Pittsburgh whined and complained that rock stars were playing favorites by paying attention to me. The real issue was that rock stars can get away with anything and bypass any common decency. See the difference? I'll give you a logical example. I got into trouble for my decorum as a deaf person at Claremont School for Continuous Education in the presence of the monster Fripp, because they were using a diamond with a cross in the middle to describe a musician and an audience in the industry yielding the fourth quality of music. I pointed out that the 6-line diagram they were using was a two-dimensional shadow. They called it a tetrad, a two-dimensional shadow of a tetrahedron. And that if you had two triangles, which is 3 lines each, and put them together, you would have a tetrahedron, which is a 4-sided triangle. So, which is only 6 lines, but it's 4-sided triangle. So if you use a 3-dimensional model, you take the musician, the audience, and the industry that puts them together, and you get the mysterious fourth quality of the opportunity for music. That's all I did. I said it was a better geometrical metaphor. They were using a 2-dimensional shadow of a tetrahedron. And they went wacko. It was like, I mean, they brought me to tears. I was out of line, son. So imagine being caught in a ringer between those kinds of horses and the whining school of Pittsburgh child molesters. Yeah, you're being showing favoritism to him. You won't get very far, will you? Okay, so the inadmissibility. These are people. In other words, there's no adults in the room. Now, it's a shame there's no adults in the room, because most of the people who might stumble across this tape, especially if I call it Beirut and Gaza or something, are people who are whacked out and being sobered by real Holocaust with real bullets being fired into gazillions of real innocent people who are unarmed and helpless by the Zionists. That's scary and weird. But there's no help. There's no help for them because there's no adults in the room. There's a dude doing this in the White House. I couldn't help but notice I had been de-joined group on Facebook with the Palestinian. Nobody would ever tell me where the protests were. They obviously could care less if I was there. And nobody kept in touch with me. That's fine. That's fine. I went because it's a crisis in my own soul. But I know what the sandbaggers did. They were happy to leave it to Paul McCartney when it came to Jimmy Crow. I'll put together you for the pastiche, the smash, the lens, scratch the air, Peter Gabriel, avant-garde art piece that they put together with Gail Burston. I mean, the ultimate Zionist. I mean, she got away with the AIDS attack. That's what her nom de guerre means, gay, ill, Burston. And she got the queers to cheer her by putting together this abstract art statement. Jimmy Crow was a crybaby over Leslie's virginity who could have saved John Lennon. And this, you know how Robert Fripp is. If you've ever heard Large Tongues and Aspect, he has theme, counter theme. It's a pissing contest. And this, that's what they did. They created a pissing contest. And see, it shows you why the exception proves the rule. I'm a white, and I symbolize America, America. So you have to use me as an antichrist, an anti-Lenin. You have to. You must. And what a golden opportunity. He was a crybaby. So you unplug death. And Leslie is the victim. And not only that was Leslie the tomato, the victim, but deafness don't mean shit. Neurotrauma, nerve agent, don't mean shit. It don't mean shit. Because he's a white. And he had sex. Charles, King Charles, with the crimson golden gowns, doesn't like sex. So they leave one place where I can leave a message. It's a boy named Dominic for Palestine. Let's talk about this. Okay. Dominic, they say, Paul says Paul McCartney was like Leslie. Dominic was like Leslie. He was the victim. He was killed in a car wreck. Leslie Katz was untouched, untrammeled, pristine of pie after 2 years of dating. But she and Dominic, you must project. And so East Palestine was a symbol of the vinyl solution. That's what the Monster Fripp called one of his books, the vinyl solution. East Palestine, notes it happened as a signal. Train wreck, that's from Milo's Benjamin of Nosferatu's glossary. And Cosmic Wimp Out, 80, 80, 80, 80, could last licks was one of his puns in his board game about Wimp Out. And that was symbol, like Mackenzie, Father Mackenzie, no one was saved. And the children who, because there's no adults in the room. Dominic was like Leslie. Leslie was like Dominic, because the decorum of the sophomores, the bunnies on the hike, do 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 do. They don't like obsessive weirdos. They didn't give any credence to the fact that the letters plotted the personality change that the nerve chemical was intended to cause. They didn't care that a Zionist manipulation, neurological tampering switchboard bragged of their power to manipulate the psyche of someone who they tortured deaf just to watch the puppets dance, just to watch the girls go do 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 do, just to watch them say ha ha. Leslie's like Dominic, she's a victim. And they expect me to abandon Mackenzie Shirella because say this is why McCartney pulled this stunt with Roger Waters. So I would go, oh, Mackenzie is, I'm not like her. Because Jericho Project was one in on the boy's name was Shirella because they wanted to take a hostage. Because they see everything in collectivist signs. They let AIDS spread so Rosa Clemente could have a sledgehammer. They didn't have to weaponize AIDS. It already was a weapon. And they're psychopathic in this way. They poison me in the mouth. And they're like straining like Rottweilers. You're lucky. We poisoned you in the mouth. We gave you Parkinson's. You're lucky. And you're not supposed to be suspicious because there's no adults in the room. And they expect me to say, I'm not like Mackenzie because I didn't hurt Leslie. They used neurohypnosis on both of us. And you're supposed to say, see, he's like that girl, Mackenzie. Dominic is like Leslie. Leslie is like Dominic. And you're not supposed to evaluate it for what it is in terms of its conduct by neurotampering corrections and the accomplishments who allowed AIDS to spread. They will say, Zeus of lightning bolts hit East Palestine. And the people in East Palestine whose children were poisoned, who can't drink the water, and who are being lied to by the Food and Drug Administration, the Environmental Protection Agency, go, what's that we hear? Evan Nauer says, huh? And they all have to fall into place if they want to be welcome at the bar. No, no, Evan Nauer said, huh? Evan Nauer said, huh? Oh, no, 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 no to queer bite. Evan Nauer said, huh?